We got a new submission this week for you guys coming all the way out of Miami, Florida. So stick around, let's break it down. Now this tattoo was sent in by Felipe Roca out of Miami, Florida, and he says he's only been tattooing for a couple years now, wants some input on his work, and if you want to check him out, you can find him on Instagram, Tatted by Felipe, if you want to check him out. Does a lot of really kind of fine line, high detail, dot work kind of stuff, really the stuff we're seeing a lot of lately, but I don't want to kind of give anybody a hard time. This is just a style that we're seeing a lot of newer artists that are picking up and doing this style, and so it's definitely kind of commonplace now. So let me break it down. To be honest, it is really hard to judge this tattoo and give it a rating. There's nothing technically that I'm seeing wrong with it, because anything that I could say is like messy line work or some of the lines going in different directions or whatever, this kind of can be attributed to this style of artwork. It's this illustrative style. It's supposed to look a little messy, a little clean. It's sort of weird in between. So I can judge these smooth black lines that he did on the outer edge, and they look pretty good. It looks pretty consistent. Looks like he's got his application technique down, and he's really taking his time, and so I don't really see anything I can judge or critique about this. He did send a healed photo of it as well, and I would say that it's great placement on the leg. It's a good size, so a lot of smart choices went into this. I don't like that the guy's hair on his leg, when it grows back, it kind of muddles up some of that fine detail, so I would let that be a warning to anybody. If you got a hairy body, really put that into consideration. Maybe you don't want to do this sort of fine, tight detail if the hair is going to kind of muddle it up anyway. But it does look great, and I don't really see anything I can nitpick too bad about it. So I decided to kind of look through more of his portfolio, see what I could find. Here's a piece that I thought was great. The contrast is really great in there. The shading is really, really cool. The line work on the geometry here is really well done, surprisingly well done, and not many shakes and stuff for these kind of straight, long, thin lines. They're difficult to do. Any artist knows that, especially these dots, because making each one of these dots even and consistent is not easy to do. You can see some of these look a little thicker than these here, but again, I'm just nitpicking because when you zoom out, that all looks really, really nice. Nothing really I can complain about. Some inconsistencies in line work. I can see like right here we get a little bit of blurring and stuff, so I can tell that he's still learning and still trying to like kind of smooth out his application technique. But overall, for somebody that's been doing it 2 years, these are great designs and they're coming out really well. This is absolutely above and beyond what I'd expect to see out of a 2-year artist, so I think he's doing really great. I don't really want to judge it with a rating, just because I don't know, I don't really want to tear apart a new artist or be that picky about this stuff, because I do think he's doing a great job, and I can zoom in and find little errors in pretty much everyone's tattoos. But overall, is it good work? Yeah, I'd say it's some great work. Now, I did come across this one, which was kind of a tell for me. You can see how kind of bold and out of control that line got on him. And then same up here in the sun here. This sun is actually healed, and you can see some of that line work came out a little bit dotty, a little bit patchy, and some of the lines, like this one right here, is a lot darker than this one right here. And that's just from sculpting, and that means when artists go over areas too many times, especially in line work, if you're going over your line again to try to fix it or smooth it out, you got to keep in mind you're doing more damage to the skin. So that's something that I would just warn against, especially with this sort of fine detail. The more you go over those areas, keep in mind in the future for this client, 2, 3, 4 years down the road, those lines are going to start blurring more than they would have if you're just going over the line one time. So be very careful when you're sculpting these or trying to perfect them. I know you want it to look perfect that day, but you would much rather touch it up or clean it up after it's healed rather than go over it 2 or 3 times the same day. And in this tattoo, I think it's pretty obvious something's missing here, but we're not going to get into that one. Now, for Felipe, there's not a lot of advice I can give you without watching a tattoo, but I can say that I would encourage you and all tattoo artists to learn more fundamentals of different aspects of the art, right? Don't just learn one style. You are good at this and you can stick to this, but I would still encourage you to perfect color packing, color blending, bold line work, all those sort of other aspects of our art. I would encourage you to learn those and get good at those, because styles change, trends change, and one day you might be wishing that you had more experience and hadn't gone so deep into just this one style of artwork. But I do think you're doing it well. You're putting out great stuff, and if anybody wants some artwork just like this, I definitely recommend going and checking him out. I think he's doing a great job. So that's it for this one, guys. If you want to check him out, here's his Instagram again. Otherwise, if you want your art rated, just send it in. All right, bye-bye.